Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss, love yourself, get up and dance, level
Level
up.
up.
Beat it up like. Beat it up like.
Wait, there we go. Hey, everyone. Before we got started, I just wanted to come in and say hi to all of you. I wanted to let you know, normally I know I do those long trainings. I promise you, I am going to try to not make this one as long. We're going to be talking about networking. And so before we get started, I see a couple of people just jumped into the room. So hi, everyone. So lovely to see you. But just kind of by a show of, let me see something in the chat room. How many of you go to networking events? Let's see in the chat. Hi, Cassie. I love participation. So let's see how many of you guys actually participate in the Chamber of Commerce, in community events, things like that. Anything that's considered a networking event. How many guys? I, Chamber of Commerce, Nikki. You sure do, Nikki, right? Okay. I only have Nikki. Casey. All right. Regina, absolutely. So you guys already kind of know that power of being a part of a group, of being a part of a networking group. So we're going to just kind of dive a little bit deep into Joe. You're going to love this one then. However, I promise to keep it short. So last week I was giving out free copies of my book. I don't know if some of you had a chance to grab it. And it is specifically on networking. So I'm going to do you guys a favor. One, I'm going to read a little bit from it. And then two, I can't give it to you free from Amazon, but if you want, I can send you an e-file. So I will put my email address in there. So if you didn't get a chance to get the free copy, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, guys. I'm here for you. So I want to be able to help you out. But I do have a little presentation for you, right? But I am going to read something specifically on the Chamber of Commerce because a lot of people don't know the power of that. But there are so many other avenues of that. And that's what I want us to kind of explore today. So let me go back to sharing my screen and taking myself off screen because it's not about me. Not about me. It's about the information, right? So we want you guys to become networking pros. You want to know why? Because my travel agency and so many other people's travel agencies have seen a great level of success by just showing that we're the experts, by being a part of our community and going into these events with it's not about me, it's about how we can grow together. So, that is what a lot of the networking groups are about. So let's kind of take a look at some of these networking values. So some people think that the only people who are going to be successful in networking are people who are extroverts. And I'm here to tell you this is absolutely not true. Okay. We're going to show you that whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you can definitely network like a pro. But you have to keep some of these things here in mind. All right. So when you approach networking with the mindset of building real connections, showing interest in others' success, and offering support without ulterior motives, you will be successful. They don't know you. They don't know your business. So if you're coming in there with a me type attitude, how likely am I going to want to do business with you? Your actions are going to prove you're the expert. Trust us. All right. Your ability to be able to work with other people is going to be what grounds you in this industry. And I have not come across a networking group yet where I'm competing with another travel professional. And some of you have other things that you do as well. Like, as you know, I also build websites, I do marketing, I do branding. So I may come into a group and there's somebody already doing those things. So I don't come in as that. But what ends up happening, I end up getting those referrals anyway, right? Because I've proven I'm the expert. Networking goals. Don't just go to networking groups with the idea that you don't have to have a goal in mind. Like anything that we do in business, it should be aligned. Did I mention you guys should probably take notes? You definitely want to make sure that you're taking notes. All right. So whether the goal is to gain a certain number of referrals, find potential business partners, or just expand your industry knowledge. That's right, JoJo said, girl, I'm already on it. You definitely want to make sure you have a goal. If you're not sure what type of goals you should have, do research. As I stated, I am willing to give you a digital copy of my book. It will be in PDF form for free. Or, if you love me, go to Amazon, buy it. However, I'm willing to give you a copy of it because the notes that are in there are great for so many different ways we can partner with different people in different industries and make it make sense for us. So if you want to make sure you're going in there with a goal, it is going to, instead of just saying, well, I just wanted to introduce my business to this group, then they know what you're there for. But if you're like, I wanted to be able to expand my client base, meet new people, and find out what I can do for you, it is going to sound so much better. How many of you guys are part of an affiliate program where you can give vouchers and those vacation vouchers and stuff to your clients? Nikki is. Only Nikki and I? We'll talk about affiliate programs after we're finished with that. Oh, I need you. So Kenya, I need you to unmute yourself and say your name.
It's Sukena.
So Kana, love it.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I wasn't butchering it. So she is as well. Casey, the question was, are you a part of a one of those affiliate programs where we can give out vouchers to our customers? Because this can be a part of your networking goals. Victoria's using Marnie's vouchers. So yes, you understand what I'm saying. All right. So then we want to look at also online platforms, right? They are great. Social media, professional networking sites, and industry-specific forums allow travel agency owners to connect with a broader audience and engage with potential partners and clients worldwide. I like that part. I like that part. Worldwide. So these are the two things that you should work on, I would say throughout this week before you even attempt, if you haven't already, to go to a networking group. You need to know what your vision is and you need to know what your company mission is. You need these two things because you'll see a little bit later, you need to have a pitch. You need to be able to kind of like pitch your business. And I would love to hear a couple of you who may have already that great business pitch. I want to hear it. I did a class on business pitches a couple of months back. So that's a good resource to build that. But your vision should decide, it should be what your business looks like and what you want people to be able to get out of that vision. What are you trying to accomplish when you go to these networking events? Because especially if you're networking in your local area, you're going to see a lot of the same people over and over again. One is going to build a great reputation. But if your vision is different at this group than it is at that group, then it is, they talk and they're going to say this person doesn't know what their focus is. And then what is your company mission? This should be easy for some of us who have a niche. If you don't have a niche, you don't have to have just one, by the way. Okay. But you want to make sure that you have kind of honed what you want your company to look like as a whole. Even though you are an individual, you may not have a staff. You are the travel agent of your company. You should still have a broader view of what your company's mission is going to look like. Why would I want to do business with someone like you? Well, because your mission is going to show me you're the expert in this industry. You have a clear objective. So your mission should always be clear. I told you guys this was going to go quick, right? So where to network effectively? So we have to be unafraid. This is where our introverts can come into play. When you have, let's go back one, plan your vision, define your mission. When you are in this space now, when you have to start conversations or at least be a part of them, right? You can stay clear to the point of your objectives. You don't have to come up with answers on the fly. You know what you want people to understand about you, what you're willing to do for other businesses, and how you guys can coexist. People want to know that you have heard them. So don't just come in there willing to talk about yourself. You want to be able to ask a question to people, businesses, professionals, right? And you want to make them open-ended questions. The easiest thing to do, so that way you can listen to what they have to say. And don't be afraid to take notes. I've been to networking events where there's over 30 people. I am not going to remember everybody's story, everyone's business, what they do. However, I will have a book with me. I will take quick notes, write the name of their company. So when I go back to their business card, I can remember parts of that conversation for why it was important. And there is not one person that is not important to your business. I've gone to networking events with CEOs of this company, presidents of this company, business professionals on this level. And then I say, I'm a travel professional. Do I do I present myself as that? No. When I do my introduction, I tell people that I am an expert in giving you peace of mind. I am an expert of helping you organize your life. I am an expert in everything that you didn't even realize you needed, because I am going to put you on the best vacation of your life. Hello, my name is Latisha M., and I'm a travel professional. And me and my company would love to work with you, whether it's personal or for your business, in creating great getaways or amazing retreats for you and your staff. So I don't just come in and say I'm a travel professional. Why? Because some of them may think I'm the most unimportant thing in the world. Thank you. They may think that I don't need a vacation right now. I book my own vacations. But when you have a story to go with it, right? And you're introducing yourself in this story, you captivated an audience you didn't even realize you needed to captivate. And that is how I've been booking group travel and not just single travel, because I let them know up front, I'm not just here for you personally, but let's also look at your business. Let's maybe build a retreat for your employees, or even for your clients. Let's put together something, a client appreciation trip. So when you look at all of these different things, thank you, Monica. When you look at all of these different things that you can do at a networking event, you're there with an audience that's listening to you. However, you're also listening to them so that you can identify how you can fill a need. So where are these community events at? Where are these networking events, I should say? Well, there are community events, and some people don't think of these type of things when they're looking at networking in the community. So you can actually go to like a business launch, charity events, holiday events, and so forth. If your niche is, if you're trying to break into helping the schools with different transportation and needs of travel, then you should be attending more things that have to do with the high schools, the middle schools, the Board of Education, right? And letting them know that there's a need you didn't even know they needed. That's right. Angela, absolutely. And one of the best things that you can do to be in service for business professionals is hone your niche. Because when you know your niche in and out, whether it's all-inclusive travel, cruises, whatever it is, when you hone your niche and you can talk about it in detail and you can break it down for anyone to be able to understand. So I'm doing a group cruise right now, and group cruises can be tricky sometimes, right? Especially with business professionals. And this is a business professional group that I'm doing this group cruise with. But Carnival Cruise Lines, if they book within the first month of us opening the booking, do you know they only have to put $25 down? They don't have to make another payment till next year. But I had to go and understand how that worked for this group. I put it together in a presentation. I launched it during one of our events, got everybody excited about it. And I still said, hey, let's host a virtual party 10 days before the last of the $25 is due. So this is me creating my own community event. I launched a product in front of a group, and I'm getting everyone excited to join it. Community events are paramount to us. You don't have to pay to go to most of them. Okay. Key, right? Key. And even if you do, if it's a charity event and you have to donate to that charity, sometimes businesses, and I know my Chamber of Commerce people can answer this for me. Businesses do business with who? I should see it in the chat. Let's go, ladies, gentlemen. Anybody got the answer? Businesses do business with who? Nobody? All right, I got your answer. That means y'all all should have your pens above your other businesses. That's right. So, but they also only do business with people who do business with them. So if I'm at your charity event, one, you knew I paid to be here. Two, I asked you if there's anything I can bring, anything else I can do. Hey, I have some free vouchers. All the person has to do is pay the taxes. Why don't we do a couple of giveaways for your events? Y'all think I'm not in there? So business is relational. Yes, it is. All right. So then the other thing that we can look at is partnerships. So when I decided that I wanted to get into the destination wedding and honeymoon industry as one of my niches, I said, who can I partner with? Because their clients can be my clients can be their clients. So you got to look at the wedding industry itself as a whole. So we're talking about florists, wedding consultants, tanning booths, beauty salons, barbershops, event planner. Yeah, they need help all the time, right? She said that Angela says that she partners with event planners because they need help all the time. And it's cool because they refer to businesses they trust. So once they give you one taste and they see you do an amazing job, their client was happy, wedding venues, absolutely, Megan, they will always be a referral partner for you. So I know someone who is interested in cross-country travel. They like to book and help people with train transportation and bus tours. So, those cool train trips and things like that. So who can they partner with and stuff like that? Kind of makes it a little bit weirder, right? But no, it doesn't. Think about who the main clientele is going to be in that. That is going to be something that is more so for our 50s and plusers who want to be able to enjoy the ride. They don't want to drive themselves. They want to be able to enjoy the countryside while they're tripping, right? So these are the kind of you can get with community centers, 55 and plus clubs to help organize those type of events, other charity and nonprofits. And I even looked into with the because I like to go into rail bookers. I was looking into people who are coming from abroad and wanted to do those kind of trips, especially going to Alaska and Canada and just going on the trains across the country. So then I started looking into other tour guides who needed assistance with the rest of the trip, or I should say the beginning parts of the trip, the initial airfare, the initial hotel stay before they got on that train. So we have partnerships that we can form in a lot of different places, a lot of different ways. And you just have to keep um, your mind open to businesses that you can partner with. Online communities. So we know that online communities can come from anywhere or specific locations based on how the group is structured. So, there's Facebook groups, there's LinkedIn groups, there's Alignable. How many of you guys have heard about Alignable? That's a really good one. And it can connect you to not only potential clients, but potential partnerships. Victoria said, I have. Victoria's Getaways. I just gave you a free commercial. Victoria's Getaways. So the beauty part about the online communities, oh, you should be using it. Casey says she loves it. Angela says she loves it. Exactly. I've been able to put events I've been a part of, specials that I've been running, directly to like because my town does have their own page on Alignable. So that worked out well for me. Kind of get that community face in there, So when I go to events, they can say, oh, you know what? I did see something about your business on Alignable. That has happened to me 3 times. Thank you, Alignable, right? But then I can meet with other people from other cities, from other states. I've invited them to virtual events, in-person events, things like that. And again, keeping that networking going. I didn't ask them to buy anything from me. I just asked them about their business, what they're doing, and if they would like to attend an event to learn more about other stuff that's going on in the community, keeping that roundtable. And then I get, DM'd, hey, I see you're a travel agent, XYZ123 ABC. Great. So, it's definitely worked out for me. You just have to when you join these groups, you have to keep yourself active. Meetup and LinkedIn. You know what? I used to do LinkedIn a lot. I think I've done Meetup once or twice when I was in the Richmond area. It was a lot more successful than it is in this area because I'm in West Virginia now. And then, the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to talk in depth about the Chamber of Commerce, but I also want to let you know there's a lot of other networking groups, and some of these you do have to pay to be a part of. One of the groups that I'm a part of right now is called BOBC in the area that I live in, but they're about to open up virtual membership. So that is about to open it up to anybody, anywhere, right? But then there's also other groups that I've seen. I actually got invited to a women's group in my local area, and she started it to be able to help women in business 20 years ago. Their membership is $75 for the year. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. So definitely always look up local networking groups in your area. Do a little research, see what they support, how they do business. Are they the kind of networking group where they only have one person per industry in that field? I mean, not in that field, but in that group. BNIs are really big that way. You can have more than one BNI chapter in your area because if they start to get an overflow of people in the same industry, they do not like having people in the same industry in the same group. So that way, when they refer business, they're referring people to their group, right? So if I wanted to be able to get a tax professional, I'm not going to go to your group and get it. I'm going to go to my own group. I'm not going to put on the online, hey, anybody know a tax professional? I'm going to go to my networking group and say, who's a tax professional in our networking group if I haven't already met them? Now, the Chamber of Commerce works a little bit different. And I know I have some Chamber of Commerce people here. And so this is why I wanted to kind of read a little bit from a book that I did on networking. And the reason for that is because I do kind of dive a little deep in the Chamber of Commerce information. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up. All right. Ba-da-da-do-do-do. Unlocking the Chamber's potential. Now, the Chamber of Commerce is not merely an organization, it's a dynamic hub brimming with possibilities. The benefits of becoming a member are far reaching and profound. Imagine having the ability to connect with a diverse spectrum of local businesses, from fellow entrepreneurs to industry giants. The networking opportunities alone are reason enough to consider this avenue. The Chamber offers more than just a platform for exchanging business cards and pleasantries. It's a place where collaborations and partnerships are forged. Now, as a travel agency owner, your interactions extend beyond your immediate industry. You are posed to engage with professionals from sectors as varied as technology, hospitality, manufacturing, and more. These interactions are not just casual encounters. They are potential springboards for innovation, cross-promotion, and expansion. I had a dentist appointment the other day, guys, a dentist appointment. And I was meeting with the business office manager at the dentist office. And somehow we got to talking about a restaurant. I don't know. Let's not even ask. But of course, I slipped in that I'm a travel professional and gave her my card. She then asked me for more cards. She then told me she wanted to put together something for the ladies in the office for a weekend retreat. She found out that I'm also part of my local Chamber of Commerce. And she says, I am too. I just haven't been to any meetings. She said, oh, then you need to give me more cards, because now that I know that we're sisters in the same Chamber of Commerce, I will make sure that you get business. Now, you see the difference in that interaction. It started off with, yeah, I might have gotten a trip or two out of her just from me stating that I was a travel professional. But once she found out that I too was a part of the chamber, that changed our dynamic, and that changed the level of that conversation. And that was because of the springboard for innovation, cross promotion, and expansion, right? She sees that I am a business she can trust, and she's willing to do more business with me and give me some of her clients. The chamber also helps with networking galore. They have so many different events. Promotion amplified. As a member, your travel agency receives a dedicated space to display its offerings. Imagine having your brochures, your exclusive deals, and promotions displayed prominently in the chamber's physical location or on their website. It's like a megaphone for your business, reaching an audience you might not have otherwise tapped into. And they're an advocacy and support system for you. Would some of my people that are a part of the Chamber of Commerce agree with me on that? Yes, absolutely. I see a couple more yeses. So they also open up a door for you to become a speaker. So when one of the groups that I'm in, I spoke at their event last year. And then this year they did a gala and they asked me to MC the gala. So the cool part about me MCing the gala is it put me in front of a lot of people I have never met before. This happened on a Saturday. The founder of that organization on Sunday received so many different calls of people that want me to do what? Host their event, put together packages for their organization. Networking, guys. This is just for me networking. So these things are different places that you can find great ways to network. And if you have more questions about more online communities or community events, partnerships, the Chamber of Commerce or more, right? Because the Chamber of Commerce is not the only one that does, like I said, BNI groups and so many, and thousands, there's thousands of other ones. Definitely let me know and I can look for you. I can help you. So let's talk about the difference between long-term relationships and short-term relationships when you are networking. So the terms really are for when you're in a long-term relationship with a business or a professional. You can share clients through the products and services, especially that you share. We kind of talked about that. The short-term ones are the professional might take your product or service for themselves. They may not refer you, right? So that's kind of a short-term relationship. So the long-term relationship happens when you ask them how you can assist them. They ask you how they can assist you. You're part of a group together. You're in a BNI together. You're in the Chamber of Commerce together. So you're going to see each other at meetings, at events, other community functions. You may decide to collaborate on an event, on a function, on something. So these are all effects of that long term. And then, of course, you always are following up. I might have coffee with some of my people. I may just have that email. We might just have a Zoom conversation. Whatever it is, it's because we're either building or we have built a long-term relationship because of our networking efforts. And even though we are not in the same industry, we are rounding our products and services so that we can share the same clients. Short-term relationships, as I stated, is maybe this client, this person just took your service, but they're not really referring you to anybody. They're not really trying to be a partner. They needed a rental car. They heard we sold tickets, things like that. So in this short-term relationship, don't forget to ask for the referral. In this short-term relationship, don't allow it to be a one and done. What are we going to use to make sure that this person becomes at least a revolving customer? We're going to use our vouchers. Okay. We're going to be like, thank you so much for taking that vacation. Thank you so much for booking that trip. Thank you so much for renting that car, whatever it is. Here's a voucher. All you have to, for your next vacation, all you have to do is pay the taxes, courtesy of me. And now you're going to be moving this person from here to here, right? Short term, you might have met them at a community event. You guys had pleasantries. Maybe they did pass your card off to someone else, but they didn't take a stack of your cards, right? So community events can be kind of, you have to make a really kind of strong impression, because if you're not part of a networking group and we just met at an event, it may be a little harder for me to follow up with you or see you again. So I need to make sure that if I want to take this from a short-term relationship, I need to be the one to initiate the follow-up. I'm not going to wait for you. And that short-term relationship, maybe they're just waiting to build that trust. If you're new to the group, you haven't been here long, they've seen people come in and out. It's a revolving door sometimes. So you want to make sure that you can have some short-term relationships. Everyone doesn't have to fill this mode of a long term. But if you can get them from this side to this side, I would definitely do that as quickly as possible. And the one thing that you have to do in order to take a short-term relationship and turn it into a long-term relationship is consistency. If you are consistent in going to the group, if you're consistent and when you say that you're going to do something, you do it, providing help and assistance to someone else without seeking something in return. We already know when we book a group, we're going to get hecka paid, right? I wanted to say the other one, then I was like, this is going to be on YouTube later. So we want to make sure that the small things, we never sweat the small stuff, right? If I can help you by doing, by just doing airfare, which I know I'm not going to get if I'm either not going to get a commission or I'm not going to get a good commission from, right? So I can take this short burn for the longer haul. So just know the difference between, as you are starting to build that relationship, what is this starting to turn into? And how can I get it on this side of the graph? All right, and this is my last slide. I told you guys I did not want this to be long, but I do want to hear from you guys in a few minutes. So you have to be prepared, right? So the first thing you want to do before you even start going to these groups, honestly, before you even get to any of these, is make sure that the group you're going to is a right fit for you. If you are a professional woman in business, you don't want to go to a group that's mainly men in business oriented. It's not that they won't accept you. It will just be a little bit harder for you. Make it easy. All right. We can bust those glass ceilings somewhere else. All right. Some of them have been networking together for 30 years. It's just going to be a little bit harder. If it's a networking group that does a lot of events that cost money and you right now, your pockets are a little bit low, that might not be the group for you right away. I keep bringing up BNI, and that's because BNI is a national networking actually international networking conglomerate, right? They charge over $1,000 for their membership. I am not a member. I have been invited to a couple of their events, and I have sat in on their meetings. I do love them dearly. I just don't. I just have not peeled off that $1,000, right? But once you become a member, a lot of their things are included. Okay, so that's something to consider. The same thing with the chamber. The chamber from state to state, from county to county, are different prices. So you definitely want to make sure before you join, what do your other events look like? How much does your other events charge? So once I'm a part of it, I know that I'm paying this. The one that I told you, that's $75 a year. They do a woman's luncheon once a month, and it's $20. I think I can afford the extra $20. You see what I'm saying? And it's not going to them, it's going to the restaurant that we're having the luncheon at. So just make sure you do your research. All right, so now let's jump into some of the 4 things that you want to be prepared for. Create a pitch. Who has a great business pitch and would love to share right now? First, tell me in the chat before you unmute yourself. I would love to hear from someone that has a great business pitch. My Chamber of Commerce people should be able to tell us about their business in less than 1 minute. Anybody? Oh, I'm going to go up in this chat and I'm going to call some of you out. Do I need to call some of y'all out? I gave y'all my business pitch earlier. You can't, not there yet, Cassie. I know I have somebody in here that can give us a good business pitch. But if not, if you go to my YouTube page, there is a business pitch video where I show people how to do them. I didn't even know you needed a pitch. Yeah, Nikki. Angela, I'm going to unmute you, okay? Well, it says ask to unmute. There you go.
Can you hear me?
We sure can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this meeting. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
So I will try. What I usually say is, hi, my name is Angela Hines. I'm a business travel consultant. I specialize in helping businesses leverage their brand through travel. So people really remember how they feel. So imagine if you have your clients go on a trip, they're going to remember that destination and they're going to tie it to how they felt, and they're going to remember your brand.
I love it. Everybody, let's give her some whoop whoops in the chat. All right.
Thank you.
And you said you're part of the chamber?
I am not.
You are not, girl. You missing out. Are you a part of other networking groups currently?
I am very much, yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, keep up the good work. And I hope this encourages you to do more, maybe community events, jump into one or two more of these networking groups and become a part of the chamber. I think it's important only because as travel professionals, they pop up everywhere, but we're not competing for the same customers. So I think the ones who are a part of networking groups and a part of the chamber, we set ourselves apart as not just travel professionals, but I'm really honest about this, guys. Industry leaders, experts in our field. It puts us on a different plateau when you're a part of that because they say to themselves that travel agent is doing some good business to be here. All right, so don't be afraid of it. So definitely want to make sure you're creating a pitch. And what are you going to use to create that pitch? You're going to come back and you're going to use your vision and your mission. All right. And we heard it in both of that. She gave the vision of what she wants your company to be able to envision and how she is going to make that work for your company by utilizing her niche. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you also have to make sure you're prepared to be actively listening to others. This is where some of us kind of fall short. So let's not fall short. All right. So you want to focus on the speaker and what they're saying. I find that sometimes it may be too much going on around me. So for me to stay laser focused on what the person is saying, I try to make sure I'm giving them good eye contact. Don't just, right? I'm good for that in phone conversations with my friends, but I do not need to do that at a business meeting. Also, I'm not afraid to take notes. All right. So while I'm giving them that eye contact, I'm just every once in a while looking down to write down a sentence or two so that I can remember why I spoke to this person, some of the things they said. And I may even put a star, an asterisk next to because I'll write their business name down because I've taken their card, but what am I going to remember how this note went to this person, right? So if I put a star and asterisk, I'm definitely doing a follow-up with you. I'm going to ask you more about how we can partner together. All right. So actively listening, seek opportunities for growth. So don't just attend with the nature of what they can do for me. I said this in the beginning, but this is how important this is. You want to come prepared with what I can do for you and your clients. So instead of asking how others can help you, consider offering to help them, right? So be prepared with your offer. So for the vouchers that I use, I have two that I have printed from last year when I took them to a show. And so when I go to certain networking events, I let them know these are the type of vouchers that I can partner with you to give to your clients. So, like if you and I are partners in this industry and you're referring clients to me for travel, for group travel, for destination weddings and honeymoons, for cruises, I have no problem with when you want to reward one of your clients, sending them one of my vouchers. Why is that? There's two reasons for this, and because it is still a what's in it for me type of situation. But because anybody say in the chat, why do they think I do that? No idea. I'm going to tell you. One of the reasons that I do that is because I want to show them that this is nothing to me. Being able to help you is more important to me than this reward I'm going to give to my client, that partnership. I want to get that partnership. Thank you, Angela. But the other reason I do it, this is the selfish reason. The unselfish reason is the partnership. The selfish reason is because my vouchers have my logo, my name, my company website, and my phone number on them. Right, Angela? So eventually, this client is going to contact me. All right. So seek opportunities for growth. Charmaine, get it, girl. It's all about creating partnerships, but in the end, it's our business we are promoting. Monica, how can we get more on the vouchers? I can tell you that. It's very intentional, right? You're going to email me for my book. I'm telling you, I'm going to put my email in there, guys, so that anybody interested, I'll send you the PDF, like I said. All right. And don't forget, guys, be prepared to continue this conversation. Absolutely. See, Regina, that's exactly what you're doing. She is donating a voucher to their local theater for their gala. Absolutely. I've done that at bridal shows. Had entry forms, people filling out entry forms. So I'm taking in all of these names, emails, and phone numbers. And I still gave everybody something. I only gave 2 people the grand prize that I was advertising, but everybody got something. An MP3 player, a blender. Girl, I was giving away everything. Okay. So be prepared to also schedule additional meetings. If you hit it off with someone, you want to continue that conversation. Maybe you didn't learn enough about someone and you want to have that. The Harp Festival. Yes, I will, Kim. Thank you. I'm gonna put my email in here too. But so there's a lot of reasons why you want to schedule a meeting with someone. Maybe you don't even tell them while you're there, hey, I'm gonna schedule a meeting, but you do that follow-up email. It was a pleasure meeting you at the so-and-so networking event. I'm very interested in what you do and the type of clients that you're looking for. Maybe I can refer some to you. Do you have time to, if you're local, grab coffee? I know that you work Monday through Friday during the day, so maybe we can just have a Zoom call if you're too busy. Always bridge in that. So you should be prepared to speak on your business, listen to others about their business, look for opportunities for growth for not just you, for them, and to follow up if you didn't get a chance to really get to know them that much, or if you enjoyed them and you just want to keep that conversation going. So these are some really good points to when you're going there. This right here and that long term I was talking about, guys, these 2 pages will honestly make you the expert at any networking event you go to, hands down guaranteed. I haven't, oh, you should be able to, you don't see, I don't have it open for everyone to see. Oh, that's crazy. Hold on. I'm putting my email in now. I thought y'all all could see you guys chatting. I'm sorry. Y'all know sometimes we be having to lock this chat down. So what questions do I have? It is 9:48. First off, I just want y'all to know I'm patting myself on the back. Y'all don't see it. I'm gonna put myself back on camera soon, but I'm patting myself on the back. If you know me, we do hours. So what questions do you have? How can I clarify other information for you? You're definitely welcome. You're definitely welcome. I love it, guys. I love it. I'm going to bring myself on camera. Here we go. You're welcome, Angela, Charmaine. And for those who are looking, I did put my email in the chat, but I am going to grab your email. I'm going to grab it right now so I don't lose it. Hold on. Kim, I gotcha. I'm grabbing it now. Thank you, Kate. She said everything was so detailed. I try to. First off, I just want y'all to know I deleted 5 slides from this. I was like, oh, that's too much. They don't need all of that. And it's not that you don't need it. It's honestly, I'm willing to give you, I got you too, Monica. I'm willing to give you a copy of my book for free. For those of you who didn't grab it, I had put it in a couple of different chats last week that it was a free download. So if you didn't get a chance to grab it, I just wanted to be able to make sure you have it. I literally wrote that book for the travel industry. So it's not just about networking, it's networking as a travel professional. Natasha, I got you. Charmaine, I'm grabbing you now. Copy. If I put the link in the chat, it's going to be for you to buy it. So I'm still going to put the link in the chat. Maybe somebody will buy it. But let me go and grab it. And then I'm going to come back. I see I have more popping up. Give me just 1 second. Okay, guys. Yeah, because it's sold on Amazon. To me, the best thing to do is to get the digital, so that, because I like to write notes. I like to do notes, and with it, you can do highlighted notes. Right? If you're ever looking for me and you can't figure out where I am, if you type in my name in Amazon, my stuff comes up. So you'll see all 3 of my books. Technically, I'm also a part of a 4th book. And you'll see that I'm part of a podcast called The Business Sip, BOBC Business Sip. All right, so this one is book 3. Yep. So I did a book on one on branding, one on marketing, one on networking, but they're all from the point of view of the travel industry. Key, right? All right, so I'm going to put this in here for everyone. And what I'm also going to do is go ahead and, since no one else has any questions, I'm still going to take all the emails. I'm going to start back up where I left off at, but I'm going to end the the presentation that I just came out of all willy-nilly, right? So then that way, when I edit this for Zoom, everything is all there. So guys, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to get this back on track for when it is aired. And if you're going to be looking for the recording, it will be up tomorrow, because I am going to take myself to sleep. So let me get us back in there. I will stop my video for 1 more second. And 1 moment, guys.
Beat it up like